Welcome. My name is Dr. Reginald James, and this is Dr. James Spitting Game. This podcast is about parenting and how it impacts outcomes for young people in school, sports, and later in life. This isn't a podcast about blaming parents. It's about equipping adults because kids don't grow in isolation. If you're a parent, coach, educator, mentor, or someone who cares about youth, this space is for you. I began my professional career working with youth at a K-8 charter school in Los Angeles, California. That was my first real exposure to seeing how home life shows up in the classroom. Not in theory, but in real time. I've also coached youth from kindergarten through high school in sports. And coaching teaches you very quickly that talent alone isn't enough. Structure matters, consistency matters, and adult support matters. For the past 6 years, I've worked with young people in residential settings, serving in several different roles. That experience gave me a deeper understanding of what happens when earlier supports break down. Across all of those spaces, I kept noticing the same thing. What surprised me most is that no matter the environment, school, sports, or residential settings, the same root issues kept showing up. Different systems, same starting point. Over the past 15 to 20 years, I've worked with youth across education, sports, and residential settings. But I didn't want to rely on observation alone. So I expanded my perspective through research, first through my master's thesis, and later through my doctoral dissertation. And what stood out to me was this. What I was seeing in real life lined up with what the data was showing. My lived experience and research were telling the same story. We often ask why kids are failing, why they struggle in school, why they act out on teams, why they eventually end up in the justice system. But we rarely ask a harder question. Were the adults prepared? Parent isn't something most of us are formally taught. We inherit it, we repeat it, or we survive it. And when parenting breaks down, it doesn't affect just one area of a child's life. It shows up everywhere. I've watched talented kids lose opportunities, not because they lacked ability, but because they lacked stability, structure, or consistent adult guidance. I've always watched parents genuinely try their best, but not have the tools, language, or support systems to help their child succeed. That's where this podcast was born. From seeing the same cycle repeat over and over again. This podcast is not about shaming parents. It's not about pointing fingers. It is about honest conversations. It's about learning. And it's about breaking cycles. Some episodes I'll be solo. Some will include educators, coaches, parents, and justice professionals. But the goal will always be the same. Helping adults show up better for kids. If this episode made you reflect on your own parenting, upbringing, or your role in a child's life, then this space is for you. This is just the beginning. Thank you for being here.